Hi, I'm Janae Castell, and I'm one of the correspondents on Around the Valuation World. And I'm here with Kerrie Merrifield, who did a presentation today on calculating a business interruption claim. Now, Kerrie, you talked some about the contractual elements of the business interruption claims. How is it that evaluator or an expert witness should go about looking at the terms? What's key for us to know? The ramp-up period, the restoration period, what do those things mean, and how should we look at them?
I think the most important thing, and I say one of the things after you get the engagement, is to get the policy and to look at the terms of the policy, because every policy is going to be different. Every policy is going to have a different period of restoration, things that they'll cover. If they cover ramp-up period, the amount of time that they'll cover for a ramp-up period. So I think the key thing and the first thing that needs to be done is to get the policy, read through the policy and understand it so that you know what you're going to be including in your business interruption claim analysis.
Okay. And if you don't get those periods correct, then your whole analysis may be
It's going to be challenged by the insurance company. They're going to poke holes in it, and then they're going to adjust it to the way that they want it to be adjusted.
Okay. And we also had some discussion on the expense side of things and what might be deducted, some things that they might have incurred that you would want to set aside and maybe not deduct for your claim loss, and also some expenses that they may have saved. So what's your process for going through and determining those items?
First, I look at how long really it's going to take them to get the period of restoration is going to be. If it's usually between 6 to 12 months, I'll kind of separate the expenses into fixed expenses and variable expenses, because even though they're not operating, they're still going to keep the same place and they're going to have to pay rent. There's certain expenses that just don't go away. They're going to have insurance every month. And then I separate out the variable expenses, which are going to be things like payroll, utilities, things like that. And those may be reduced or they may be eliminated. So you may have less expenses, but then you're going to have a section in your analysis which are saved expenses, which will include the utilities and the payroll and things like that. You may come across things like, for example, in the case that I did where they paid for the manager's funeral, $50,000. That's an unusual expense. You know, it's a one-time expense, and that's something that I would not include in there because it's not a recurring expense.
Okay. So anything else? I know you talked about the time limit that we had. We had about an hour. And is there anything else that you want to leave us with? Any upcoming webinars or engagements that you might have some more information for our listeners?
Yes, actually I am working on a team of us. This is a team of us on a subchapter of NACVA board that are working on a 5-part series, 2 hours each of webinars on business interruption loss claims. And we've also actually come to the point that the insurance policy is so important, we're going to add on another 5 2-hour seminars just on insurance policies. So each of these webinars is going to go in depth into all the things that kind of glossed over: the saved expenses, the period of restoration, reading the policy, what you need to do when you get engaged, do a site visit, talk to management, things like that. So we're anticipating the first set of 5 to be hopefully done for maybe September. And then maybe within the 6 months after that, the in-depth policy webinars to be done by the first of the year.
Well, that sounds great. I look forward to seeing that. So with that, I think that's a wrap, and we'll hand it back to you, Greg.